Hello fellow humans, so my bestest friend's birthday is coming up and I need to give her a present. And at first I wasn't really sure what to give her, but then she communicated to me that she really likes rings, and she said one more thing and now I can't remember if it was earrings or necklaces. But either way, I'm just going to make her some jewellery, and I'm going to try and making it both out of clay and out of wire. But I'm not entirely sure if I can make those work, so we'll see what goes into this video. But I hope that by the end of this, I can give her something that she will actually wear and that she will actually like. And first of all, I have to go get started on my research and then to the making process. So my apparatus for the clay portion of this video was the clay, obviously. Then I had a box cutter, not an X-Acto knife because I don't have an X-Acto knife, a normal knife, which I did most of my cutting with, a glove not to put on my hands but to put on top of the clay when I roll it out, because this is a food safe roller and I don't want to contaminate it. Then we have this stick. To be honest, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. This is probably just for making like circles. And then we have a needle to poke holes through so I can put rings and hoops through the jewellery later. So my first stop was a pair of earrings, and honestly in my head I thought this was a cute idea. I don't know if I was able to translate it well into actual physical product, but I'm not sure if that's my problem, if I'm just bad at working with clay, or if the idea was just bad. But basically I got a bunch of white clay, I made it a little soft, I rolled it out, and then I used a glue stick cap to cut a perfectly round circle from it, and then I kind of shaped out a crescent moon shape on it, so that way when I cut along that line I could have a crescent moon shape and then the rest of the moon completed on a different earring. And then I tried doing the same thing with a black and brown marble effect, and this didn't look that good. It looked much worse than the white one, so I just cut out 2 crescent moons out of this and rolled up the rest of the clay for scraps. Moving on to the rings, the first ones were pretty simple. I just rolled out 2 different colours of clay and then I intertwined them, snaking them around each other, and I made a ring out of it. And this is the cutest ring that I have at the end, but it's just a little too large. For the next piece of clay, I just rolled it out into a rectangle, and that's pretty much the ring. It's pretty simple. For this, I wasn't entirely sure where I was going with this, but I basically just rolled out 1 strip of each one of the colors, and I laid them together, mushed them together, folded them over together, and then it became this little lovely circle. So I cut it in half, and it looked pretty cool. So I decided to roll that out. And after rolling this out, it kind of looked like a galaxy, which I thought was really cool. So with this galaxy-like shape, I just took an old perfume top that I had, which had broken off, and I used that as a cutter this time, just so that I would be able to add these details on top of the other rings later. Now, one of the biggest problems that I had with this project was I don't know my friend's exact ring size, and nor do I have something to measure ring sizes with. So I essentially just went off that one time that I secretly got her to try on a ring for me. Although it may not have been so secretly, because I was like, oh, this ring looks nice. Hey, why didn't you try it? And then I kind of got an idea of how her fingers related to mine. So that's basically all I was going off of, and I don't think it was the best. For this next one, I tried doing what all of the TikTok earring making artists do, which is where they cut up the clay into small little pieces and they mush it together along with some acrylic medium. I'm not entirely sure what the liquid they add is, but they just add that liquid, they mush it all together, and they cut it up into slices, and then they roll out those slices. And it looks really cool, but I wasn't able to get that effect. I wasn't even going for a stone look, which most of them go for. I was just going for a bit of a marble, and that didn't really work out, so I do have this piece of jewelry made, but I didn't end up making anything out of it. And now for the wire portion of this video, I got some florist's wire in gold and it was kind of thick. Then I had some silver, thinner florist's wire. Then I got the same stick from before, which I used to wrap the wire around. Then I had this little pebble, which I wanted to wrap the wire around so it could make like a pendant charm. Scissors, which I hope will cut through this wire. Now I did film most of this in time-lapse, so it might be a little bit difficult to see what I'm doing, but in this clip I'm trying to wrap the wire around that little pebble I had, but it didn't really work, so I just abandoned the idea in the end, but this is just me struggling with that. Then I got the idea to wrap the wire around my nail polish handle top thing, where I could measure out a round size of a finger possibly, and then I just wrapped the wire around that, and then I wrapped the wire in on itself. This might be a little bit difficult to understand, but in the finishing shots, you'll be able to see what I mean by wrap the wire around itself. I tried adding a pearl onto this, but it didn't really look that good and it bulged out a little bit too much since I didn't thread it through the actual ring. So then I just got another stone that I had lying around, and this worked much better and it lay flatter against the ring. I repeated the same step with the thicker golden wire, only I didn't add any stone or embellishment to this, and I just left it as is, which I think still looks pretty cool. Last one, I just twisted the wire and I folded it over and twisted it again, and then I twirled it around my finger so it kind of looked like this, like it was snaking around my finger, and I just added a little stone jewel thing to it so it made it look kind of pretty. Now while painting it, adding in the details, and then sealing it over with a coat of sealer, I knew that these rings and these jewellery pieces didn't look perfect, but I still like them enough to give them to her, and I hope that she likes them too. And at least, even if she doesn't wear them, she can look fondly upon them and think of how much love I have for her. And after adding the finishing touches, these were the final pieces that I decided to keep and make for this one. And now not all of them are for her, some of them are for me because I decided they were too awful to be given away. So the finalists included this golden thick wiring, this thinner silver wiring, and this weird snaky wiring. A marbled clay ring that I made, which I thought looked fine. These 3 clay rings, which honestly, the middle one is probably way too big, but maybe she can use that as a pendant or something. Which this is a necklace pendant with her star sign constellation on it. And then there is this moon crescent moon thing. I think it still looks fine. These 2 crescent moons, these are for me. And these things, which are basically hang-on little hoops. Well, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're having a good day. I hope that you continue to have a good day, and I will see you next time.